How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing. Always protect your profits. And today we're going to be talking about BBIG. It's been having a pullback inside of the market, so many people are asking me questions. Is it done? Is there any life left? So you know what? We'll talk about it today in this video. I won't waste any more time. Let's jump into the agenda. If you're new to this channel, I just want to let you know we have timestamps down below inside the description. But if you're a shareholder or you're thinking about taking a position, I highly suggest you watch this full entire video. So the first thing we're going to go over is the technical analysis. We're going to be taking a look at the overall price action. We want to know support. We want to know resistance. We want to know what it looks like in the bearish case scenario and as well as in the bullish case scenario. And then we're going to be going on Fintel, taking a look at the recent institutional ownership and short interest information. The reason this is important because it does have an impact on the way the stock performs. And then we're going to be taking a look at the order flow distribution. We want to know the buying and the selling behavior on the retail side and as well as on the institutional side. And then when all of that is done, we're going to go into the final thoughts and as well as some more details. So let's get to it. So we're going to do a technical analysis for BBIG. Let's see how it performed on the day. So it ended up closing at $2.42, being down 5.47%. On the low, it tested $2.37, and then on the high, testing $2.54. When we take a look at the volume stats on the day, you can see we traded at 15.76 million shares, and the average volume over 10 trading days is at 23.51 million shares. So we did have below average volume on the day, and it's part of the reasons why we've seen a pullback in the stock. Now, when we take a look at our chart, which is the daily chart, you can see from the RSI down below, it is at 38.24. And then when we take a look at our moving averages here on the chart, we are below the 200-day, the 100-day, the 21-day EMA, and as well as the 50-day. So as you can see here, and what I was talking about in my previous videos, we broke through 260, broke through 250, and we said the next area of support was going to be around 240. So it ended up closing at 242. So what we want to look for, and we want to see some strength, if it pulls back even more, can it hold up $2.30? We ended up testing $2.37, so that's why going into tomorrow is going to be very key for BBIG to hold up 230. If it can hold 230 and actually just kind of consolidate within this particular range it's been trading in between 230 and as well as for 280, that can get us ready for the next move up to go to $3. We could easily get back to this level, but of course we need to have more volume coming into the play. So if you were going to be jumping in to take advantage of this dip, I would make sure if you're going to be getting in, let's say at $2.40, you want to have that stop loss right around 230 to protect yourself. But of course, this is not financial advice, but this is just an idea if I was going to be swing trading at this particular level. But I'd rather stay patient and wait for it to start showing some higher lows and a bullish trend before even doing anything. Now, let's move on to the short interest information. So we're going to take a look at the recent institutional ownership and short interest information for BBIG. As we scroll down further on the page, green rows indicate new positions, while red rows indicate closed positions. So when we take a look at the recent filings for February the 25th, we have portfolio MSCI Global Stock Market ETF that purchased 7,288 shares. We also have Defiance Digital Revolution ETF that purchased 85,662 shares. And then we also have Jet SX, which is the Total Stock Market Index Trust NAV that purchased 1,543 shares. So that are the filings for the 25th that we see. And then when we take a look at the short interest, the off-exchange short volume ratio is at 47.40%, and then for the off-exchange short volume, it is just over 4.31 million shares. Scrolling down further on the page, the short shares availability is at 450,000, updated 18 minutes ago, and then for the short borrow fee rate, it is at 12.19%, so it has gone down a lot. And then when we take a look at the history of the short volume, we can see for the close of the 25th, it was at 46.80. And then when we take a look at the close for the 28th, being at 47.40, and that was yesterday. So one thing that remains the same, BBIG does have short squeeze potential. Now let's move on to the order flow distribution. Now let's take a look at the order flow distribution for BBIG. So we see on the inflow, it's at 6.59, and then on the outflow, it's at 8.98. So it was an outflow day. Taking a look at the breakdown, on the large, it was 1.33. On the medium, it was 3.95. And then on the small, it was 1.31. Taking a look at the outflow side, you can see on the large, it was 2.51. On the medium, it was 4.71. And then on the small, it was 1.76. I don't know if I said this, but all these numbers are in the millions. When we take a look at the large scale orders in the last 5 days, you could see for today, March the 1st, it was an outflow of 1.19 million. And we also saw this on the 28th of 1.35 million. Now, when we analyze the numbers even further for the small scale orders that tends to represent the retail side, we had more selling than we had buying. And then when we take a look at the medium, we had more selling than we had buying. And then when we take a look at the large, which represents whales, institutions, or funds, we had more selling than we had buying. And then when we take a look at the turnover ratio, it was at 11.69%. So this still remains to be a consistent range for BBIG. But one thing that is very clear, since we've been seeing a lot of selling pressure going on inside of the stock, we can see why retail and as well as institutions haven't been showing as much buying interest. But there are some key levels I talked about inside of the technicals. And you know what? We'll talk about a little bit inside of the final thoughts. So let's get into it right now. So for my final thoughts for BBIG, when it comes to the price action, when we take a look at the chart, yes, it is looking bearish. It is trading below all of our major moving averages. But one thing that we have to pay attention to, it did have a low not too long ago of $2.16. And now that we've been testing lows at $2.37, I want to see if we can end up having a double bottom and a reversal to the upside. But if that doesn't happen, as far as price action is concerned, you want to see this stock get above $2.78. Upon getting to $2.78, that's where we want to see that push going to $3. Do keep in mind, there are many bag holders inside of this play, so they might be looking to exit their position. So this is why it's very important we have that buying volume coming into the stock, and we haven't been seeing that as of late. So add that to your homework and as well as your due diligence if you're going to decide to get into this play, and please use a stop loss just in case the trade doesn't go your way. Also, when we went on Fintel, taking a look at the recent institutional ownership, we could see institutions have been loading up on shares. And then when we take a look at the short interest information, it does continue to have short squeeze potential, but we have seen a big time reduction in the short borrow fee rate. This is not surprising due to the fact it's already pulled back a lot. We already know some shorts have already covered. So what we want to look for now is that move to the upside, and what that might take or even stronger market conditions. We know the market as a whole has been pulling back. So when it comes to the small and as well as the mid-cap stocks, especially the ones that are not profitable as of yet, they are going to get hit hard, and you're going to see a lot of volatility. The only way that could change the direction of these types of stocks is when they release earnings and it ends up being good. Aside from that, if it's a stock that doesn't have any quality earnings, it's going to pull back. And also, since there's a lot of retail interest, what do you think is going to happen? If the market pulls back, that's when retail starts taking their money out. And plays like BBIG is going to be exposed to that. And that's why I say there's a lot of volatility and why we look at the turnover ratio to see how liquid these shares are. Again, adding this into your game plan and making sure you have the right entry as well as the exit, and then also using the right risk management can get you far, especially with these choppy market conditions that we are in. So I hope you found this video helpful, and let's see how the stock performs for the week. We'll talk soon.